that the global population will reach 9 million by 2050. Therefore, the global production should rise 70% between 2010 and 2050 to fulfill the demand. Since land, water, and resources are becoming insufficient to continue the demand supply chain, farmers and scientists are turning to the smart approaches for analytics and greater production capabilities. Okay, foreseeing the application of AI in preparation its preparation of the soil, sowing of the seed, adding fertilizer, irrigation, weed protection, harvest, and storage. I give a brief introduction about each phase. Preparation of soil, initial stage of farming, where farmers prepare the soil for sowing seeds. Process involve breaking large soil clumps and remove the debris such as sticks, rocks, and roots. Also, add fertilizer and matter depends on the type of the crop.
Sorry,
Swing of
sorry,
this.
we cannot see your slide. Can you? We cannot see your PowerPoint slide. Sorry.
Okay, I need to share it again. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, the next step is preparation of this. Is sowing the seeds. This stage requires taking care of the distance between two seeds. For planting seeds at this stage, climatic conditions such as temperature, humidity, and rainfall plays an important role. The next part is adding fertilizer.
Sorry, doctor. Can you make
Yes.
a slideshow? Can you make a slideshow? Is it
Oh, okay.
slideshow presentation? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Adding
Thank you.
fertilizer. Farmers turn to fertilizer because this substance contain plants nutrition such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. This stage also determines the quality of the crops. The next stage is irrigation. This stage helps to keep the soil moist and maintain humidity. Underwatering or overwatering can hamper the growth of the crops, and if not done properly, it can lead to damage the crops. Weed protection. Weeds are unwanted plants that grow near crops or at a boundary of farms. Weed protection is important to factor as weed decrease yield, increase production cost, and interfere with harvest and lower crop quality. Harvesting. This is the process of gathering ripe crops from the fields. It requires a lot of labor for this activity. So this is a labor-intensive activity. This stage also includes post-harvesting handling, such as cleaning, sorting, packing, and cooling. And last stage is about storage. This phase includes packing and transportation of the crop. Actually, if I want to be honest, I can be used, I can be applied in all of the stage of the life cycle of agriculture. But here we show some of the examples of application of AI in agriculture. Use of weather forecasting. With the change in the climate condition and increasing pollution, it's difficult for farmers to determine the right time for sowing seeds. With help of artificial intelligence, farmers can analyze weather condition by using weather forecasting, which helps them to plan the type of crops that can be grown and when should seeds be sown. The next application of AI in agriculture can be for soil and crop health monitoring system. This type of soil and nutrition of the soil plays an important factor in the type of crop is grown and the quality of the crop. Due to increasing deforestation, soil quality is degrading and it's hard to determine the quality of the soil. This is a place that AI can help us to monitor the soil and crop health. Another one is analyzing crop health by drone. The new technologies has brought drone-based imaging solution for monitoring crop health. In this technique, the drone captures data from fields and then data is transferred via a USB drive from a drone to the computer and analyzed by experts. Another one is AI-enabled system to detect pests. This is another place that AI can help farmers. Pests are one of the worst enemies of the farmers, which damage crops. AI system use satellites images and compare them with historical data using AI algorithms and detect that if any insect has landed and which type of insect has landed, like the locust, grasshopper, and other type, and send alert to farmers to their smartphones so that farmers can take required precautions and use required pest control tools. AI help farmer to fight against pests. Another application of AI in agriculture is using robotics. AI companies are developing robots that can easily perform multiple tasks in farming fields. This type of robots is turning to control weeds and harvest crop at the faster pace with higher volume compared to human. This type of robots are trained to check the quality of the crops and detect weeds with picking and packing of the crops at the same time. These robots are also capable to fight with challenging faced by agriculture forced labor. And in total, we can say that AI can help in agriculture for having a precision farming and predictive analysis. Okay, here then we talk about application of AI, but now we wanted to know that what is AI? AI is a computer program that has ability to learn and reason like a human. The first person who talked about AI was Alan Turing in around 1960. Who explored the mathematical possibility of AI, but unfortunately he couldn't continue because on that time the computers doesn't develop enough, and each computer was very expensive. Then he couldn't continue his research, and later in 19 learning and artificial intelligence. We can actually there are two subfields of artificial intelligence, which are machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning is machine learning refer to algorithms with ability to learn without being explicitly programmed, and deep learning is subset of machine learning in which artificial neural network adopt and learn from vast amount of data. The difference between machine learning and deep learning is this: we don't have feature engineering for artificial neural network or deep learning. Each machine learning has three categories: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Anytime that you wanted to use AI, we wanted to apply an AI method for agriculture or any field, we need to analyze our data to find out that our data is supervised. We need to analyze our data and find that we need to use supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. In totally, when we are interested to do machine learning or deep learning, then we need to follow 7 steps, which is data and gathering data, preparing the data, choosing model, training, evaluating, hyperparameter tuning, and prediction. And in generally, we can say that we collect data, we give it to the model, and model provide a prediction for us. Okay, I think that we know enough about AI, and right now we wanted to talk about agriculture in Malaysia, and especially smart farming in Malaysia. Malaysia is the second leading producer of palm oil in the world, and in 2021, 5.14 million hectares in Malaysia was under the plantation of palm oil, and it is very important sector in Malaysia. Actually, in 2019, the contribution of agriculture sector to the national GDP was 7.1%, and providing employment was approximately 11% of the population. However, despite of these values, data presented that Malaysian agriculture sector has been relatively slow in adopting modern technology. One of the things that show the importance of smart farming in Malaysia is this. Malaysia recorded the fresh fruit bunch of 16.73 tons of oil palm per hectare in 2019, 17.19 and 17.89 tons in 2018 and 2017 respectively. The values shows that as we move from 2017 to 2019, the amount of fresh food is decreasing, and is not because of the amount of the plantation. It's because of the shortage of labor, and it's because of the not using smart farming in Malaysia. So it's necessary in Malaysia to use smart farming, since the agriculture is one of the most important sector in Malaysia. Another product that we have in Malaysia is rice, and here is a project that we have done related to the rice. In the past few years, the cultivation of rice has augmented because of the increasing human population. The ever-increasing human population, coupled the continued global demand for rice, have put pressure on soil fertility, and where sustainable rice cultivation is not adhered to, the fertility of rice soil decline is on the ascendant. To find a solution for this problem, farmers started to use chemical fertilizer. However, this practice does not only increase the cost of the rice production, but it also pollutes the environment besides reducing rice grain quality. Therefore, in this project, the cost-effective methods of rice producing using organic amendment was proposed. Actually, in this project, 7 different methods for combination of natural amendments as a fertilizer has been considered. And then we have this objective for this project: determine the physiochemical properties of the tropical acid and soil under rice cultivation and soil amendment. Second objective is determine the role of the soil organic amendment in enhancing nutrition. And the third objective is determine the rice growth variable and grain yield by soil organic amendment. First of all, when we are going to use AI, first of all, we need to collect the data. Actually, the experimental area is located in University Putra Malaysia in Sarawak, and the size of the land is 24 meters by 23 meters. The experimental design was randomized completely block design with 4 blocks. The plot size was 2 meter by 2 meter, and the distance between plots was 1 meter, and distance between blocks was 2 meter. So based on these values, we can say that we have 56 plus. And moreover, we collected data. We sampled from each five. We have collected data, 5 data from each plot. Therefore, in total, we have 280 samples. We have collected data for 3 months. For first, at the end of months, first months we collected data, and then later on we collected data at the end of a second month, and then we collected data at the end of a third month. For sample 1 and sample 2, we collected 5 samples from each plot. However, for objective 3, which is related to the yield, we collected 10 samples, and therefore the amount of data that we have for objective 3 is 1,680 for 3 months. We have used, as I told you, we have used 7 different type of combination for natural amendments, and we show them with T1 until T7. The variables here, just because of the time, I consider objective 1, and here we wanted to determine the physiochemical variables of the soil based on different type of the treatment, which are pH in water, pH in KCI, total C, total N, exchangeable NO3, exchangeable NH4, total P, available P, exchangeable acidity, exchangeable AI3, exchangeable H, and CEC. These variables present the chemical properties of tropical acid soil under rice cultivation. The target is to predict the amount of each variable for various fertilization methods. This is some of the data that we have collected for objective 1. Here you can see that the values for each variable is located in one column, and here I show the cycle that we show that for each month, and here is a different type of a treatment that we have or combination that we have for a natural amendment. Okay, actually the data that I have is like this: month 1 280, month 2 280, and month 3 280. We need to find a way to use data for this data for prediction. Actually, we consider this data is time series data, and then based on that, we divided data to train and test. Test data set is a subset of original data that is used to train the machine learning model, and test data is a subset of original data which is used to check the accuracy of the model. We split data to train and test, and based on the previous literature, we use 3 different type of machine learning methods. First one is ridge regression. Linear regression is a machine learning algorithm based on supervised learning. It performs a regression task. Regression models a target prediction value based on independent variables. It is mostly used to finding out the relationship between variables and forecasting. Ridge regression is an expansion of linear regression, and it is fundamentally a regularization of a linear regression model that we have used in this project. Another one is support vector regressor, which is a supervised machine learning and can be applied for both classification and regression. The basic idea behind SVR is to find the best fit line, and in SVR, the best fit line is the hyperplane that has the maximum number of points. And the last one, the last AI method that we have used in this project is LSTM, long short-term memory network, are a type of recurrent neural network that's capable of learning order dependence in sequence prediction problems. Long short-term memory is able to learn long-term dependencies, and we use this model plus the data that we have collected, and then this is a final result that we have gotten for these 3 models. We compare MSE, and based for each variable we can And at the end, thank you for participating in this session.
Thank you, Dr. Zara. So
Welcome.
we open for Q&A. Is there any question or comment from participants? Dr. Zara, is it this research still ongoing or already finished?
No, already this project has been finished.
Mhm. So, what the result from this?
Okay, this is the last slide was about the result. The result show the accuracy of the model that we have. And here, based on, for example, each model, we are able to predict for the next month. For example, when I wanted to use a fertilizer in the soil, when I use a different combination of the natural amendment, then it would be possible for me to predict that how much we have in the soil from each variable.
Mhm. So is potential to patent or product to make a product?
Yes, sure. Actually, people can use these farmers can use these models, and then if they use a natural combination of the amendment, then they can predict the amount of the nutrition, physiochemical nutrition that we have in the soil, and based on that one, they can actually they can add the values in the soil, or if it's necessary, they can add, or if it's not necessary, then they can skip.
Mhm. Yeah. So, any question for participants? Dr. Zara, from your research, they can apply for another from for apa? What
Yes,
call
yes, okay. Most of the data that we are using in agriculture sector, they are time series data. So if they collected data in different with different distance with different time distance, then they can refer to this research and then provide make a data like a time series data, and then do the prediction for their variables. Actually, if people who wanted to use AI in agriculture follow this research, then they are able to provide AI in their research as well.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Zara, thank you for
Thank
your
you.
sharing, and thank you to all of participants. Inshallah, we'll meet again this week.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.